Hey there everybody and welcome back. Science fiction has always had a special way of predicting the future. Lots of technology that we've seen from sci-fi movies and series have gone on to turn into real-life gadgets that we use every day. Today we're going to talk about some of the craziest science fiction technology that's gone on to turn into reality. Star Trek: The Original Series was a huge success when it aired back in 1966, but did you know that Star Trek predicted the cell phone? One of the most common gadgets in Star Trek was the communicator. This little handheld audio device let anyone communicate back to the command deck of the USS Enterprise. At the time, the idea of a mobile phone was truly shocking to most, and is something that could only be imagined up by somebody like Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek. But only a few years later, in 1973, Martin Cooper created the first mobile phone, and rumor tells us that Star Trek was his inspiration. Captain Kirk also showed us a crazy and very useful tool for the USS Enterprise, the Universal Translator. Kirk and Spock would use this gadget to translate alien languages instantly, first appearing in Season 2, Episode 9, Metamorphosis. Although we first saw this gadget on TV in 1967, it wasn't until recently that we started to see this technology in real life. Programs like Skype and Apple iOS software now have real-time translations, just like Star Trek. But Star Trek isn't the only sci-fi to predict the future. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, which hit theaters in 1982, showcased some truly incredible technology that has since come to life. Set in a dystopian downtown Los Angeles, this scene from Blade Runner showcased a digital billboard. Of course, years later, billboards like this are all over the world, from New York to LA to Tokyo. Blade Runner also introduced us to some incredible artificial intelligence. Rick Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, can only tell the difference between AI and real humans by administering a Voight-Kampff test. And while most of our artificial intelligence today does look different, like the Amazon Alexa, we've made some huge leaps in AI technology. And some of those leaps do bring us closer to the replicants from Blade Runner, like Hanson Robotics' AI robot Sophia. So who knows? Maybe in the future, just like Rick Deckard, we won't be able to tell the difference between an AI and a human. And how about this iconic scene from Back to the Future Part 2? One of the most classic scenes from the franchise. Everybody was so excited about the possibility of hoverboards in 2015. And while there's not as many available now, hoverboards do exist and can be very pricey. They operate pretty similar to the hoverboards from the movie, too. And a few more years, who knows where this technology could be? Maybe we'll all be riding hoverboards to school and work. And what about these self-lacing shoes from Back to the Future? And just like the hoverboard, we did get to see the creation of these crazy shoes, but unfortunately, they're not the normal everyday shoe wear like the movie predicted. But if you've got $20,000 to $60,000 laying around, maybe you can get yourself a pair. If not, let's just hope in the future they're a little more affordable. Speaking of affordable gadgets, Apple first came out with the iPad in 2010, claiming that they invented tablet technology. But did you know that Samsung made the claim in court that Sir Arthur C. Clarke and Stanley Kubrick first invented the tablet in 2001: A Space Odyssey, which was released in 1968. Although the case was ultimately thrown out of court, we do get a very clear example of tablet-type technology in the film with the Newspad, where Dr. Bauman and Dr. Poole would watch their news and get their updates on their flat-screen computers. Now, iPads have become very popular, but they're not the only sci-fi gadget to make their way into the real world that gets used every day. Paul Verhoeven's 1990 film Total Recall introduced us to some crazy technology that's becoming more and more popular in the modern world. Self-driving cars, operated by animatronic drivers, were almost a joke in the movie. But who would have guessed that years later, companies like Tesla would be making real-life self-driving vehicles? And with the growing popularity of these types of cars, we may be looking more and more like Total Recall in the near future. Now, who could forget all of the technology that Star Wars predicted? In Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, we see Luke Skywalker fitted with a bionic arm. It looks like an arm, it moves like one, and it has all of the same functionality that his previous flesh and bone arm did. Prosthetic limbs had been around for a while, but Star Wars sparked the idea of a bionic arm, using the newest in technology for prosthetic limbs. Since Star Wars, we've seen prosthetic limbs that show off almost the same exact features as Luke Skywalker's. And that wasn't the only Star Wars movie to predict the future. A New Hope famously included this scene, utilizing holographic technology never before seen. It's an iconic scene to the franchise, and it's crazy to think that we've already seen this technology in real life. Thanks to holographic technology, we've gotten to experience performances from music legends who left us too soon. From Prince to Tupac Shakur, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and more, who have all shocked audiences as holographic performances. This technology is so futuristic that it's crazy to believe it's becoming a more common part of our everyday lives. It's crazy when our science fiction can predict or inspire our actual technological inventions. There are so many amazing science fiction movies and series out right now that it's crazy to think about what they may be already setting in motion for our future. What science fiction gadgets do you want to see come to life? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook. I'm Joshua Ryan. I'll see you next time.